Hi, mommies, daddies, guardians, and primary caregivers. I'm Dr. Tippy Sumpayko Tanchanko, a med mom, and this is Special Moments with Doc Tippy. Join me as we learn about various topics concerning developmental and behavioral conditions and find ways of dealing with them. Welcome to our special episode today.
Hello! Kamusta po kayong lahat? It's so good that you're with us ngayong araw na ito. Maganda po yung pag-uusapan natin. Pag-uusapan po natin yung case ni Mommy Dianne. And we have a special guest po ngayon. Ang special guest po natin ay si Dr. Jen Lopez Molina, who is a mother, an internist-pediatrician, and an adult and pediatric sleep medicine expert. Hi, Dr. Jen. Kamusta ka?
Hi, Doc Tippy. Thank you for inviting me today. I'm doing well. Salamat.
Ayan. So, narinig niyo po, sleep expert si Dr. Jen. So, pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay tungkol sa sleep or yung pagtulog. Lahat naman tayo natutulog, di ba, Dr. Jen? And ano ba ang tingin mo sa sleep? Gaano ka-importante ba ang sleep bago natin puntahan yung case ni Mommy Dianne?
Well, thank you for that question, Doc Tippy. Really, for the longest time, most people think that sleep is a luxury. But really, sleep is a need. It's a basic need by our brain. So lahat tayo kailangan ng tulog. Bata, matanda, kahit even when you're older than 90 years old, everybody needs sleep.
Wow. Importante pala yan. So, kailangan makinig po tayo ngayon kay Dr. Jen, ano? Sige. So, pag-usapan natin si Mommy Dianne. Nagpadala si Mommy Dianne ng kwento ng kanyang anak. Dalawa raw yung anak ni Mommy Dianne. She has a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old. Pero yung 8-year-old niya, mukhang nahihirapan si Mommy Dianne patulugin yung anak niya. Doc Jen, especially during the pandemic, the lockdown, diba, a lot of our kids or a lot of our parents are actually having a difficult time making their children sleep. And hindi lang 8-year-old, pwede even the younger kids or the older kids, no? Pero simulan natin ito, 8-year-old child na mahirap patulugin. Can you give us some tips or how to address this?
Sure. And so, thank you for sending Mommy Dianne's question. And so, you're correct. After the pandemic, there was a sudden increase in cases of insomnia or difficulty sleeping. Nakita din namin, so si Mommy Dianne, I know she's in the Philippines, pero dito sa US, ang dami bigla ng cases. And I think the biggest difference there is na wala bigla yung routine of kids waking up, having a set wake time to go to school. And then at the same time, yung mga magulang, nawala din yung routine, waking up at a certain time to go to work. All right? And so, a couple of things that I identified dun sa video ni Mommy Dianne is, merong kailangan changes. There are several changes that she and the father, the parents need to make. And so, insomnia, really by definition, it is difficulty in either falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up too early. All right. And then it has to be most nights of the week, at least 3 nights of the week. And then it's been going on for longer, more than 3 months. All right. And then oftentimes in children, we see this sleep difficulties, this insomnia, because there is a bedtime resistance. All right. Children fight the bedtime. And I think
why do they fight bedtime ba, Doc Jen?
Well, because I think most kids would rather play, right?
Oo nga. Something fun, no?
Yeah. So most kids would rather play than go to bed, right? And tulad nga nung sabi ni Mommy Dianne, pagdating ng bedtime, yung 8-year-old niya would rather go play, gustong maglaro, or gustong mag-TV, gustong mag-iPad. And so really the first thing that I would recommend to Mommy Dianne and the husband is to have a consistency in the schedule of children. Because as with most things, nothing can happen in the house without parents' consent, right? And so we dictate our children's schedule. what time they eat, right? What time they get ready for school if they are back to in-person schooling, and that includes bedtime as well. All right. And so the first thing that I'd recommend to Mommy Dianne is remove all forms of electronics at least 2 hours before the goal bedtime. And so in the video, she said yung 8-year-old niya would always wake up at 6 in the morning, right? So 6 in the morning. And so for an 8-year-old, for school-age children, the goal bedtime is, the goal sleep time that we want is around 9 to 10, 9 to 11 hours. And so to allow her 8-year-old to get at least 9 hours of sleep, the kids' goal bedtime should be around 9 p.m. All right, so 6 a.m. Yeah, so 6 a.m. wake time. We always start with that. What is your goal wake time? 6 a.m. and then you count backwards how much sleep a child needs, because like in the previous session, right? One of the doctors discussed how much sleep a child needs. So 9 p.m. So if 9 p.m. is the goal bedtime, around 6 or 7 p.m. should be the last time that a child should be on an iPad or TV.
Right. Ganda.
All right.
Yes, I think that's very important, no? That I like it that you started with what time do you need this child to wake up, and then working backwards. Because a lot of times, diba, some parents will dictate, okay, I want you to be sleeping. Tulog ka na ng ganitong oras, not considering na ganitong time siya dapat mag-wake up and this is the amount of sleep that the child needs. Diba? Doc Jen, I have a question. So, diba, ang ganda rin yung sinabi mo kanina, kailangan may routine. Part ba niyang routine na yan is helping the child sleep by lying down with your child to help this child sleep? Is that still done? Lalo na kung 8 years old na tong batang to, would you recommend ganong habits? Because some parents still do that, di ba?
So really, that's a great question. And so the short answer is no. All right. Okay. So to explain, really our children, they associate different things. All right, they can make associations the same way that they associate, pencil, like a pencil with school or writing, right? So they can make associations between sleeping and the presence of a parent or a toy. All right, and so by lying down next to the child will start associating that for them to be able to sleep, the parent has to be there. And so I think really this starts early. And so I know the Mommy Dianne's kid is 8 years old, right? But in babies, when we are training them to sleep on their own, we actually recommend not putting them down. So we rock them, right? Hinehele. Yeah, hinehele. Pero ang recommendation po is bago ibaba sa crib, not asleep but drowsy. All right, drowsy but not asleep. And so it's the same thing for older kids. What I will recommend for Mommy Dianne is not to get in bed with the child, but rather put a chair, Celia, next to the bed, and then allow her child to learn how to sleep on his or her own. All right, because really we're trying to train the kid to learn how to sleep on their own.
Right. But is it okay if Mommy Dianne sits on the chair until the child is sleeping? Or kailangan ba medyo drowsy pa rin, umaalis na siya from the vicinity of the bed?
Oh, no. So that's okay. As long as the parent is not in the bed with the child. Oh. So put the chair next to the bed, and then just allow the child to fall asleep on his or her own, and then leave the room. And then this is actually a therapy option. We call it extinction therapy. And so every night the parent will move the chair a little farther away, a little farther away.
Na sila, no?
Exactly.
Oh,
Tama.
okay.
Exactly. Until yung silya nasa pintuan na, and then finally pag nasa pintuan na, the following night, wala na yung parent, ang matitira na lang, you can leave a clothing or something All right? Because
Okay.
when the child sees that, they will still think, kahit wala dyan yung parent ko, nandun yung clothing, they should still be able to fall asleep. The other point I wanna say to, again, going back to Mommy Dianne, is being consistent. So once they choose a certain bedtime for the child, stick to it no matter what. So 9 p.m. That's they should stick to it even during weekends. All right. So I know most parents would allow their kids to stay up a little later during weekends, like Friday or Saturday night, and that's okay as long as the school night and the weekend night bedtimes and wake times are not different by more than an hour.
Oh, okay. Gandang tip yan. 1 hour lang max na yon. Hindi
Yeah,
pwede
yeah.
until wee hours of the morning pag weekend.
No, yeah, unless the parents want Sunday night to be to be a struggle.
Oo nga.
Right? Sunday night going back to school, yeah.
Yeah. Doc Jen, I have a question. What if, halimbawa, Mommy Dianne tried to tuck the child in bed na, but after a few minutes, tatayo siya ulit. And parang mahirap na naman siyang patulugin. How does she address that? Diba? She tried to establish the routine already, but this child keeps on getting up, or Mommy, I need water, or Mommy, I want a glass of milk. Meron silang mga ganong excuses. Do you have suggestions for that?
Yeah, and so that is part of bedtime resistance. And so I think when Mommy Dianne starts doing this for her child, kailangan din niyang i-prepare yung bata na I will allow you maybe 2 or 3 requests. All right, 2 or 3 requests for that night. Once you go to bed and then you wake up, you're only allowed 2 or 3. You can either go out, but every time that the child gets out of the bedroom, yung nanay or tatay needs to walk the child back. All right, so they have to be consistent about it. Na pag lumabas yung bata from the bedroom, the child should learn that yung kasunod nun is someone will be walking him back to the better bedroom. Hindi siya papayagan na magstay sa salas or sa terrace. Someone should walk the child back, and then or if they want water, they'll just go to the kitchen, and then they need to go back to the bedroom. And so until the child learns that no matter what they do, even if they get out of the bed or out of the bedroom, even if they ask for water, the mom or dad will still tell them to go back to bed. And so really consistency. Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. No? Consistency. So 2 points na sinabi ni Doc Jen, yung routine and consistency. Consistency is really key, no? Doc Jen, what are your thoughts about yung ngayon, lalo na, diba, sa YouTube, may marinig ka mga white noise to help sleep. So what are your thoughts about playing white noise or leaving a night lamp? Kasi diba some kids gusto nila, natatakot sila sa dark. So some parents would leave yung mga night lamps for children. Do you have thoughts about those?
And so, the white noise machine, I have nothing against those. I think studies have shown that sometimes like white noise or even sound of flowing water is actually soothing and can help kids. And so I have no problems with parents using a white noise machine. So nothing against that. And then second, the night lights, as long as it's not too bright. And most of the night lights are dim enough, right, to be in the bedroom. Again, similar to TV and iPad, we don't want too much bright light, right, at night, because it will affect your ability to fall asleep. So really a short answer, nothing against night lights or white noise machine.
Okay, thanks, Doc Jen. Eto, some parents feel that their children don't need enough sleep or parang don't need that recommended amount of sleep. Is that true ba? Like, are there some children na hindi talaga nila kailangan masyado matulog, na they'd rather be moving, wala na yung afternoon naps nila, and they're fine with that? Like, ano yung may guidelines ba yan to say na, okay, enough na tong tulog ko without following the recommendation for the number of hours of sleep?
Mm-hmm. So good question. And so I think the best way to answer that is how a child is when they first wake up will tell you if they've gotten enough sleep the night before. All right. So kung yung bata nagising siya at 5 or 6 in the morning with, with energy, with so much energy. And so that tells the parent that, hey, the child, yung anak ko got enough sleep at night. All right. But then they should also, not just how the child is when they first wake up, but also how the child is the rest of the day. And so some things that parents should watch out for is, symptoms of insufficient sleep or not getting enough sleep. And so if a child, of course, it's very obvious if they're sleepy or drowsy or sleepy or tired during the day. That's obvious, right? That they're not getting enough sleep. And then there's some kids that instead of being tired or sleepy, they can actually go the opposite direction, right? They can become hyperactive. We have something we call paradoxical hyperactivity, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, paradoxical hyperactivity. And then in some kids too, they can have problems with focus and attention. All of this can be symptoms of not getting enough sleep, all right? And so going back to your question, really how a child does during the day will give us an idea if they're getting enough sleep. The normal ranges for sleep is different for children, and so in general, the younger the child is, the more sleep they need. All right. And so I think during the last video, Dr. Planta?
Yes.
Yeah. And so that was a very good video because it really showed that as our children grow older, they need less sleep. All right.
Yes. Thanks, Dr. Jen. I think, ang bilis ng panahon. I think yun na yung last question natin, Doc Jen. But before we let you go, any last words for our viewers, takeaway points that you want to leave us for today?
All right. Well, first of all, Doc Tippy, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to see you again.
Thank you. Kami rin excited. Dalo ka dito minsan, ha?
Na-coverage ko yan, Doctor, once COVID is over. And so, really key points here. I think Mommy Dianne's case is a good one because insomnia is more common than people think. And most childhood-related sleep issues can be addressed by changing behaviors and routines around sleep. All right, that's right. The second thing is the same way that we discipline our children in terms of learning things. It's the same way with sleep as well. Having a consistent bedtime routine more often than not will lead to a healthy sleep schedule.
Okay. Nako, thank you very much, Dr. Jen. Thank you. Dami naming natutunan. So, para sa ating mga viewers, thank you po for joining us today and join us next week for our FB Live. And thank you, Dr. Jen, ha? Kung meron po kayong mga questions, mga comments, feel free to drop a note in the comment section below. And if you like this episode, don't forget to like it and share with your friends. You can also subscribe to our channel if you wish to learn more about the topic. So hope to see you again in our next episode. This is Dr. Tippy, a med mom. Thank you for special moments that truly matter to us. Remember, every moment is special and should be cherished. Have a great day.